Hello everyone there. This lecture is related to Chaucer's attitude towards the contemporary church in prologue to the Canterbury Tales. So as you know that there were total seven ecclesiastical characters in the prologue. Like the first was the prioress, second monk, then friar, sumner, pardoner, parson, and the clerk. And by contrasting all of these above characters, we can divide them into two groups. For example, the first can be the ideal clergyman or the good clergyman, and the second can be the bad clergyman. In the good clergyman, we can add these last two characters, the parson and the clerk. And in the bad clergyman, we can include all of these above characters: prioress, monk, friar, sumner, and pardoner. And by making these last two characters as the touchstone, Chaucer exposes the follies, absurdities, the monetary greed, and hypocrisy of all of these above characters, because these characters were actually not acting according to the accepted rules of the church. Joseph points out that they had various type of weaknesses because they had love for money, corruption, gluttony, materialism. Degeneration had crept into the ecclesiastical orders of that time. Degeneration and the corruption. Joseph points out this degeneration through his own humor, irony, and mild satire. So we come to know that these characters, or most of these characters, were actually mercenaries, like they were busy in making money. And they were not serving religion as a religious guide. They were actually using religion for just making some kind of money. For example, if we take the character of the partner was having a few fabricated relics, a pillowcase, a piece of rail, a cross, etc, and he would show these fabricated relics to the people to impress them and to swindle some kind of money out of them. And Joseph says that he was such a downright man that he did not even care whether these relics actually belonged to some pious man or a religious man, or they were of a pig. So this character was presented in a very hideous way. Then, in the 14th century England, the clergy were considered to be divorced from worldly pursuits, only interested in religion. But here, the characters that we see in the prologue, they are quite different from what were the accepted rules of church at that time. For example, if we take the character of Monk was fat man whose sleeves were covered with the finest fur, his hood was fastened with gold pin, and so was the character of the prioress. If we look at her in a very close way, religious was abused, they indulged in activities prohibited in religion. For example, if we take the character of friar, he was a person who should have relationships with the beggars and lepers, because it was his duty to care about these people. But we know that friar here was more interested in having relationship with the women of the town. Then there was erosion in the authority of the church. Erosion means that there was gradual decline in the authority of the church. For example, if we take the character of the Sumner was a wicked man and his appearance was horrifying. And Joseph says that he was such a downright man that he did not even care if he had to give his beloved to other man just for a cup of a wine. So this Sumner was always in a drunken state. He had also relationship with the other women of the town, and he knew all about their secrets. So this Sumner was also deviated from the true way. They had become drunkards and had illicit relationship with girls, as I have also pointed out in the character of the Sumner and the Friar. They had spoiled the sanctity of religious institutions. For example, friars supposed to beg for the poor and lepers and lead a life of poverty and humility. But we come to know that the friar had more relationship with the women of the town, and whatever the money that he was getting from begging, he used to spend it on women for buying expensive gifts for them. They ran after chauvinist fashion and monetary greed. For example, if you look at the character of Prioress, she was very fashionable in her ways. She used to speak French language, which was a very common trend of that time, and she used to wear a necklace on which it was written that love conquers all. So we come to know that she was a lady who had very secular kind of interest rather than religious interest. Then, in the last, I would like to say that there were two characters, the parson and the clerk. These two characters were actually the ideal characters, because in the characters of these two characters, Chaucer has actually presented us the true picture of the clergyman, that how a clergyman should ought to be. Unlike the friar or the monk who fail to practice what they preach, the parson lives the gospel he teaches by being holy and virtuous in all things, giving to the poor. So we come to know that the parson is such a benevolent and virtuous type of person. He was performing a sacred job because he says that he has joined this pilgrimage just to bring people to the salvation or to help people in some sort of way. He was barely making any type of money because it was not his because his main aim was not to make money or to gain some type of monetary benefits. He just wanted to help other people and to seek salvation for them. Joseph says that this parson was lacking in personal belongings, but he was very rich in righteousness because this character is presented in a very ideal way. And then there was another character. He was the clerk. He was also an ideal character because he was a student of the philosophy. He had read so many books of the Aristotle, and whatever the money he used to get, he used to spend it on the poor people or his own books rather than on his cloth. So in the end, I would like to say that Chaucer was the true chronicler of his age of 14th century England, because he in this Canterbury Tales he presented us not only the social state of that time but also the religious state. And by contrasting all of these characters, we also come to know that most of them people were mercenaries. They were busy in making money. They were using religious as a tool of making money. But there were two characters, the parson and the clerk, and these two characters were presented in a very idealistic way because they were very good people. They were helping people. So we come to know that this was a mixture of good and bad people in the prologue. And Joseph presented this the state of the contemporary church in a very true colors without any kind of exaggeration. So this was the end of the presentation. I hope that you liked it and it had helped you in understanding it. Thanks a lot for listening.